5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back inside University High School. Wells moving right to left on our radio dial. Finds Kramer for a 3-ball. Buries the bottom. 44-28 on the tray. Pullman in a deficit. Kramer's up to 11 points tonight. First one to crack the decade mark for the Hounds. He's the only Hound who scored here in the second half. 3:50 to play in this third quarter. Peterson to Pakotis, all beyond the arc. Now Vasic, first team all-league selection, shakes his man, dribbles back out to no man's land. Finds Pakotis trailing on the far side. He's fouled on the 3-ball and might have sold it to the official. Wells doesn't seem satisfied with it, gives him a bit of lip. So the official doesn't want it. We'll ring him up with his second personal. That's the 5th team foul. 0 team fouls charged to West Valley, notably, to Pullman's 5. Just 2 away from the bonus. Pakotis, his front end action, rattle in and out heartbreaker. 44-28 score holds. Pakotis is 0 for 2 from the stripe tonight, failed to convert on an old school 3-point play, and he'll swish his middle effort here. And now the latter of his 3 attempts, as it was beyond the arc on the foul. 45-28, third shot's off. 46-28, gets it to go. He's up to 10 tonight. 3:30 to play in the third, and Takari Pakotis will take a seat by the scores table looking to sub into this ball game. Near side corner, Wells loses his dribble. Gets tapped, so he'll drive the baseline, getting his dribble back, and he's fouled. The officials can ring up any one of 4 orange jerseys, and they want Davis Reed. And Wells will go to the charity stripe. Trip to the line is brought to you by Greg Bloom of Edward Jones Investments. And Pullman's Pro Mall 2 swishes the front side. 46-29 now with the bucket. First one to score here in the second half, not named Ethan Kramer, wearing a jersey that says Hounds across the chest. Pullman the 2 seed, West Valley the 4. An upset looks to be in line unless Pullman can make something happen. Right rims his second attempt, boarded by the orange jerseys. 46-29. We're approaching the 3-minute mark here in the third. J.C. Pakotis drives the top of the key, finds Dakari recycling the back end. 3-ball, front of the iron. Wells with a board. He has Burkett up court to push the pace. Will take it up himself. Tries to Euro step through contact. Fouled, and the officials will ring up an orange jersey and let him take 2 more free throws. This one to Mason Dobney, his first personal. Second team foul. Wells just a moment ago halved his trip to the stripe. He'll make the front half here. He's up to 5. Last trip to the stripe, he did falter on the back end. 16-point deficit, 46-30. West Valley leads the Hounds with 3 minutes in the third quarter. In this elimination game, the GNL semis will bury the backside. Back to 15. Pullman's trailed by as much as 4, by as little as 4 rather, and by as much as 20. Right now it's at 15. Vasic kicks it right wing to JC. Drives the lane, pulls up from the right block. He's swatted from behind by Riley Pettit. Kramer moves it up court, favoring his left hand in the sideline. Will now center things back out top. The key setting up an offense. Craig Brandner barking calls at the Greyhounds. Wants Strong on the right wing. He's got Dakari to work around or through. Kramer recycles on a float pass on the backside. Gets a pick from Pettit. He rolls. Dobney shuts off the lane. Now floats through on the paint. Gets it to go. 13-point deficit now. Kramer had a good game the other night. 21 points to his name. Right now he's up to 13 on the runner. 2 minutes to play in the third. 46-33, West Valley leads. Pakotis floats one through the lane. Turnaround 2 won't fall. Burkett gets it. Strong now has to split 2 jerseys. Finds Kramer on the backside. Corner pocket. 3-ball, no good. Front of the iron. And Pettit will be the last to tap it before it goes out of bounds on an attempted offensive board. Some substitutions get David Dysart into the game in place of Trenton Davis Reed. Reed, notably with 3 personal fouls, will take a seat and rest up for crunch time in the fourth. 13-point lead for the West Valley Eagles in this elimination game. They hold possession, working left to right on your radio dial. Blaine Vasic harassed by Evan Strong. Strong and Vasic, both all-league selections. Strong second team, Vasic first team. Now he drives the baseline once again, and Kramer gives him a little bit of a swat trying to steal it, but they call Strong with a block. They say he shut off the lane, minimal body contact, He gets rung up for his 4th. Evan Strong's playing 2 teams tonight, one of them wearing stripes. That's his 4th personal foul, and the amount of body contact likely went unnoticed by most people here at University High School. Inbound straight to Pacotis, 3-ball right off his hand. Pettit fights his brother Dakari for the board. Going the opposite way, right to left on your radio dial. Kramer feeds it down low to Pettit, floats one through, shakes his man, gets his offensive board on the left block, puts it back through, shoulders it for an 11-point deficit. Riley Pettit, once a JV swing player alongside Peyton Rogers, both have worked themselves into be staple players in the varsity roster. Blaine Vasic works through Rogers, finger rolls right block, right down Main Street, 48-35. Pullman was on a 5-point run, and Jay Humphrey and company finally mitigated the effort. Less than a minute to play in the 3rd quarter. Kramer's 3-ball off the right iron, boarded by Mikhail Sweet, fought Peyton Rogers for it. Pullman trying to get a 2-for-1 possession, and they're going to make it happen as there's 40 seconds on this game clock, 25 on the shot clock. We'll get to see it one more time unless West Valley pulls down an offensive board. 48-35, West Valley leads with possession. Vasic to Mikhail Sweet, back to Vasic. He's near the U at center court. Past the volleyball line, now shaking Rogers into the elbow. Euro steps through the lane, the walk was palpable. Jay Humphrey's hands go up in disappointment. There's Euro step, and then there's not dribbling. 48-35, Pullman with possession. This will be their last touch. Wells gets stripped from behind, bleeds out of bounds. Dakari, the last to touch, stays with Pullman. 13 seconds left, and a 13-point deficit for the Hounds facing elimination. There's only a quarter to play after this buzzer here. Slaps the ball to get some motion going. Inbounded to Rogers in the backcourt. He's got Mikhail Sweet in his wake behind the volleyball line. He'll close in on it. About 5 seconds left. Fed to Wells. Shakes Dakari to the baseline. Floats in a finger roll. He's fouled. Find Wells at the charity stripe. He's had 4 attempts from the line today. He's made 3. Second personal fouls charged to David Dyford. That'll be the 3rd team. Wells on the front end. We'll get it to go. Nothing but nets. Personal totals up to 7. He's been the Robin to Ethan Kramer's Batman. They both combined for 20 tonight as they trail at 48-36. Make it 37. Hit the soft spot in the back of the iron. 2 seconds left to Mikhail Sweet. He's got Wells, and he's fouled on a 3-ball. Wells knew it the whole way, and he's going to get rung up for his 3rd personal. Wells and Strong, the 2 staple guards here for Pullman, are both in foul trouble as we're about to enter the 4th quarter on the buzzer. Strong with 4 personal, Wells with 3. And there's 0.5 seconds left on the clock according to the near side official. Pullman trails by 11, but Mikhail Sweet can change that as he's got 3 attempts. He'll hit the back of the iron on his front side, or the first of 3 rather. Middle attempts, front of the iron. If he can split the 2, he'd get nothing but net. 48-37 score holds. 3rd and final free throw. Mikhail Sweet's got 3 points tonight. And you can make it 4. Gets a friendly shooter roll on a stiff rim. Inside the Wells quickly. Won't get the shot off in time from another zip code by his own free throw line. That is the end of the 3rd quarter. 37-49. We're closing the book on it, entering crunch time. It is a 12-point lead for these West Valley Eagles with 8 minutes left to play. Pullman facing elimination. Winner goes to the G&L Championship. Losers season comes to a close. We'll be back for more here on Newstalk 1150. It's spring on the Palouse, where Justice and Jack hit the diamond to watch some ball. But a brief look at the stands of Bailey Brayton this season, and you'll see a different type of fandom. Passion for the good old-fashioned strikeout. It's not Felix Hernandez in the Kings Court, but Washington State, and, well...
Give him the chair! Chair, 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 chair!
Yes, chairs.
We have a marketing project in our sports marketing class, and when we were meeting with marketing to kind of get the direction for the chair, we were just spitballing some ideas around, and I played baseball in high school, and one of my favorite things was when we had 2 strikes, we would tell the pitcher to throw him the chair. So I was like, hey, why don't we do it for WSU baseball and get the crowd involved and get like a chair chant?
Wazzu's baseball program was once one of the finest in the nation, winning 20 division titles between 1970 and 1995. But far as pennants go, They haven't picked one up since '95, dropping in morale as a result.
We've been to a couple baseball games in the past, and crowd hasn't been necessarily a factor, so we really wanted to incorporate that element to WSU baseball.
So what is the chair exactly? Well, it's tough to say. Some, it's a gimmick, and to others, it's a battle cry. It's caught the attention of first-year head coach Brian Green and company in less than a week.
Oh, full on. They're part of the family. I mean, we're 4-1 here at Bailey Brayton this season, and they're a part of that. I've gone out into the stands after a game, giving them high fives, pictures. Every day they come in, I give them a high five. I make sure they all look. I come up with them. I say thanks for coming. That's what I want our players to understand too. Is it's an honor and a privilege to play here.
The cheerleaders were present for the entirety of WSU's opening home series, a 4-game sweep over Niagara. Washington State pitchers enjoyed 37 strikeouts, averaging just over 1 per inning.
I really like that this was not an athletic-driven thing either. Athletics supports it, but it wasn't athletic-driven. This was just something that was born organically, and it's just taken off. It's infectious. Think about the recruits that are going to come in. They're going to see this. They're going to be like, hey, this is a fun place to play, right?
It just creates and presents a distraction, and I like how our fans are doing it right now because it's fun. It's a positive distraction, but it's a home field advantage, and to have it is huge, and I just hope to see it get bigger and bigger.
The Cougs begin Pac-12 play Friday in a 3-game hosting of California. In Pullman, Andrew Baertlein, Murrow News 8. Put pen to paper and fax it in. With the early signing period's recruiting buzz, college football keeps the dormant days between the regular season and the bowl slate excited in a Twitter frenzy. But not every name gets an equal shake. Enter Mount Spokane's Cannon Katzer. Pick a linebacker, he'll make him miss in a phone booth. Washington State's 3A Offensive Player of the Year, GSL Offensive Player of the Year, a top 10 in-state prospect according to Scorebook Live, and the most prolific runner Spokane has seen in the past decade.
I don't know, I guess I shocked myself too.
Though the 5'10 halfback's currently caught between the title of breakout senior and undervalued talent, he's uncommitted after the early signing period.
I've sent emails to coaches and tried to get more contacts outside the area. The local schools aren't that interested. Well, let's go outside and expand the radius, and so that's kind of where I'm at right now.
I definitely say a lot of coaches are in my ear, but not a whole lot of offers.
He's garnered a full ride from Idaho State, but his heart points another direction.
Definitely WSU has been like my dream school, like my whole life probably. My Pop Warner team, we were the Cougars for like 7 years. I don't know, just always like Pullman.
He's the most hyped halfback to come out of Spokane since, well, Gonzaga Prep's Bishop Sankey, an eventual Washington Husky and NFL draftee. Katzer's topped him statistically his senior slate, but he isn't getting the same love from colleges, and it's for ill reason. Katzer was sidelined much of his junior year, missing out on crucial film to show recruiters.
It was quiet just because I was only able to play like 4 or 5 games. I was hurt. Against CV, I think week 4, I had like a 96-yard kick return, and then like at the 10-yard line, like my hip flexor and all those ligaments just pulled my hip off.
No junior year tape put a hole in the recruitment calendar, leaving his name largely unknown to colleges despite a 2,500-yard senior year campaign.
It wasn't out there. He wasn't a known commodity as much. He wasn't on school's radar to have him, watching him.
He came back a full head of steam his senior year, recording 300 yards from scrimmage in week 1.
He never wants to come off the field. When we're in practice, and he only played offense for us, and when we were doing our defensive time, he was our scout team running back. He was our scout team quarterback. He always wanted to do something. We were doing 7-on-7, and he wanted to jump in there and throw the ball. And some weeks it was okay, and we actually ended up putting in some Wildcat stuff because of that.
Katzer's road to Mount Spokane started with district rival Meade. With the Panthers, he got varsity time as a sophomore, but later followed his brother north across enemy lines with the Wildcats.
My son played with him on a Pop Warner team, so at that point I knew that he was a pretty good football player. Lost track of him for a couple of years, and then showed up again when he was a sophomore, and coached against him that year, and then he came over and was with us.
Katzer's a threat to score anytime he touches the ball from anywhere on the field. Clore can only recall 2 other such players that he's coached.
I can hang with the D1 boys. I definitely think I can. So just see what comes down the road.
Wazzu's backfield is already a full house, offering their scholarships this recruiting cycle. The Cougs are looking to pad the position with one last preferred walk-on slot and have offered Tumwater High's Dylan Payne, announced in a Twitter post last Thursday. If he forgoes, Katzer is expected to be next in line.
He's right up there with the best players in the last 10 years in the GSL.
So for now, the Mount Spokane Wildcat patiently waits for the right door to open, looking toward the day he finally inks his name with a program and maybe even live out his childhood dream donning the crimson and gray.
Sometimes I can get down on myself, but then I just tell myself that's not going to help. So just been working out and waiting for an opportunity to pop up.
National Signing Day is set for February 20th. From Meade, Washington, Andrew Baertlein, Cougar Sports Network. It seemed like last week you were concerned about a lot of explosives, and tonight, once again, there was a lot of explosive plays allowed on defense. Are you seeing progress in that remark, or is it still kind of the same?
I think we're doing better at pressuring the quarterback. I don't know if we're seeing progress or not. I'm going to have to look at the film. We're still giving up way too many explosives.
In that last play with Max, was that a good box to run in, or is it sort of let Max finish what he started?
No, it was a really good. Well, it was a really good box. So then, they called timeout, and then it's guesswork. So then we changed the set, and of course we were prepared to check it from the sideline. We're yelling like crazy, trying to get Gordon's attention because, we felt like we should run it, and then they sold out on the pass and we ran it,
Payne, you've been at Washington State for 6 years now. Loyalty in sports is sort of like a thing of the past. Why have you stuck around here for all 6 years?
Mainly because I wanted to start finish what I started here. We had a class last year, 20-so guys that helped build this program up to 3-9 2014, and now we're here, and I believe in this team that's here right now. So I just wanted to come back and lead and help this team the best way I could.
Have you ever been approached by another program or coach for options to transfer or anything like that?
Yeah, Alabama offered me to go over there, and so this last summer, and so I spent a good week or so contemplating that, just praying, talking to Coach Wilson, Coach Grinch, who's no longer here, but just having a lot of heart-to-hearts and really thinking it out. And I just decided to stay because this is where I wanted to be.
When you first came to Pullman, and Stanford was starting more offensive linemen than we had healthy on our whole roster, and you kind of built this program from the ground up, is there an enhanced sense of pride that game day is coming under your tenure?
I'd have to think about that one. I think we've grown as a team, though, so I think that part's good. I think we've grown as a team. I think we've improved as a team, and so I think that part of it's good. I think I haven't really thought about that specifically, but I did spend quite a bit of time trying to make sure that we had at least as many offensive linemen on our team as Stanford had playing, and we did devote a great deal of time to making that happen and trying to ensure that. And it took a while, too.
Do you feel this was your most complete game of the season so far?
I do think it is. So we had contributions, offense, defense, and special teams.
And did you envision a game where you'd rush it more than Stanford?
Honestly, no.
And 7 for 8 in the red zone might be a little misleading. It's pretty field goal heavy. How do you feel about that? I guess getting in the red zone and having to settle for some kicks.
I'm not real fired up about that. I thought we should have scored touchdowns. We did. Would we throw 5 touchdown passes or 6 or so? Anyway, we scored some, but I felt like, no, I'm kind of tired of kicking field goals.